Okay, we're ready to go. We're going to get started on Google Docs today. I'm going to show you some basics on how to work within the Google Docs environment. So I'm going to start with opening a blank Google Doc, and I'm going to set this up as a grammar edit assignment for students in Google Classroom. So I'm going to click on this plus sign here to create a new document. This is my blank canvas here, and up here I need to give it a title, so I'm going to call this Grammar Edit. Actually, I'm going to change it. I'm going to call it Grammar Practice, and then I'm going to put the date. This is great for organization. If you stick with a naming structure for your dates, I tend to use the digits, and I don't use any type of punctuation. So now I have a name and a date for the assignment, and now I'm going to go ahead and start typing my assignment. Okay, now that my assignment is typed, I'm going to go ahead and make some formatting changes. First of all, you can probably see that I did a little copy paste there. Get rid of that. I want to make the text larger, and I want to give it double spacing here. So this is my spacing. So you can see that most of the features in Google Docs is very similar to Microsoft Word. Now that I have it set the way that I want to go ahead into Google Classroom so that I can use this as my assignment. To create an assignment, I click on the assignment button, and I'm going to give this a title and a description. Once I give the assignment a title and I give it a description, I want to give it a due date. And I want to, if I need to add a time, I can, and then I need to access it in my Google Drive. Fastest way to do this is to search for it, since I know what I'm looking for. And then I need to change my permissions here so that students can make a copy for each student. These are for read-only and for collaborative work. Once I'm done that, I click Assign. Once you click Assign, the assignment is then issued to the students, and this is what it's going to look like immediately. A count of who has worked on it and who has not worked on it. Now I'm going to show you what the assignment looks like from the student's perspective. So I'm going to click on the class that the student is in. As you can see up here, I am no longer the teacher but the student, and you can see that he has my student sample has one assignment to do. So I'm going to click on the assignment, and if I need to refer to the instructions, I can go back here to where it says instructions and click on your work. I'm going to click on the document. Once I accept the document, the name of the document changes to add my name. This is great for the teacher side because once you turn in the document, it'll be organized with everybody having the same document name, but also every student having their own name attached to it automatically. You don't have to worry about them forgetting. So now as a student, I'm going to go in and I'm going to work on this assignment. Alright, I'm going to leave a few mistakes behind before I turn it in because I want you to be able to see what the teacher can do with the student and how this becomes a collaborative work. But before I submit my assignment, I want to make a few design changes. So what I did here was I just changed the color. It's not very dramatic in the change, but another fun thing to do here is we can go to page setup and we can actually change the color of the page itself if we want to for a little bit of emphasis. Again, just to change things up a little bit here. And because I'm going to pretend I'm a student, I'm going to pick a pretty font too. Maybe I want something a little bit more dressy, so we'll go with that. So there you go. So now I'm going to click up here to turn in my assignment. I could leave a comment if I want to. This is a private comment between the teacher and student, or I can simply click Turn In. And as you see, it is now submitted to the teacher. I can pull it back if I want to, or I can simply leave it as is. And for this lesson, I'm going to leave it as is. Switching back roles to the teacher side once again, I can see now that one of my students has completed the assignment, so I'm going to click on the actual assignment, and I can see that my second sample student has not attempted the assignment yet, but my first student has. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click on their assignment. Right away, I can see what they have done, and I can make edits. I want to change my mode though. Right here is editing mode. I want to change it to suggesting so that any changes that I make, the student can see those changes happen. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font to something a little bit more legible or readable. And I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to leave a note here as well. There you go. And then I'm going to make some more changes in the assignment. And as you can see, each time I make a change, the font changes color to show that I'm making changes. So because I changed the entire font, everything turns green. And then there's these little marks here, and you see right here that I added a comma. And I'm also going to leave a comment for the student and ask for a little bit more work so I could show you another feature. Alright, so now that I have made changes and I've left comments for the student, I'm going to go back to the assignment and I'm going to give it back to the student. I'm going to leave a note for the student and then click return. Once again, I'm back as the student and I'm right in the middle of the document, so you can see if I go back a level, I can see that the document was returned to me, so I'm going to click on that document. And now I can see the changes that have been made. So I can see right here that my teacher has told me that I used a bad font. They added a comma, so I can read here, oh look, this is a list, I should have had a comma here. And I missed the wrong use of the word its. So this is great for the student to learn. And then we can see that there was some positive feedback as well. And right here I already have the bar open. I'm going to show you how I found that. Under Tools, if we go to Research, it opens up this sidebar, and this allows me to do some quick research in the middle of my work. So I'm going to type in Alaska, and it's searching Alaska, and maybe I want images of Alaska. And this isn't quite what the teacher asked. She wanted maps, so I'm going to put map in my search. And here you have it. I can find some maps of Alaska. And here's one of just Alaska. I kind of like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this in. I'm going to just drag and drop. That easy. And the great thing is that at the bottom there is a little reference point, a citation, which is another handy tool. Automatically puts a citation in there. Now, obviously for higher level, you would want to fix the citation for any type of guidelines, MLA or APA. But for the purposes of an elementary school or a middle school assignment, that might be acceptable, that they cited their sources. I think I liked some of those other pictures of Alaska. So just to do a little brown nosing here, I'm going to add a little bear. So now I have a bear. And I have our map of Alaska, and I want to return this back to the teacher. So I click that Turn In button again. And for one final time, I'm back into the teacher's side of the classroom. And I see once again that I have one done and one not done. I see that my student has resubmitted the assignment. If I click on that assignment again, I can see that, oh look, the student made changes. They accepted my comments. They accepted my changes. Hopefully, perhaps they learned from it. And they put a nice map of Alaska. And they even included a bear in there. Fantastic. So now the teacher sees all of that, they can go ahead and give the student a grade. And right here, we can do a grade. Let's say it's a 95 out of 100. You can change the scale if you'd like. Once you grade that assignment, you do have to return that to the student. You give them a little feedback comment. And now that it's graded, you will no longer expect it to be returned to you. And the last look for the student can take a look to see that the assignment has been returned again, and this time they can see that it's been graded, and now they have a returned ownership of that assignment. All right, now I just want to show you one more thing back in here. Right here we have submission history. We can see that it started with the student turning in the assignment, and then you return the student back to the student, and then the student once again resubmitted their assignment. And you can return that one more time with a final grade and ask them not to resubmit if you wanted to as well. This is great. You could do a quick screenshot if you ever need to collect some evidence that you're doing some collaborative work with your students. And this is something really handy just to see the work and effort that's going into your assignments. The other thing that we can look at is in this assignment, we can track every edit that has ever been made. So let's say your student accidentally erases the entire paragraph. They can just go back and restore to an earlier version. It's time-stamped every single change. Now you've seen me work with these documents and you wonder, where are these documents going? Google is so smart that it's created a folder for you called Classroom, and inside the Classroom folder are subfolders, each starting with the name of the class. The class that we're in is Tech Center 109. So we open that up and we see that I have lots of different sample assignments, but I want to go ahead and take a look at Grammar Practice is the one that we worked on today. So open that up and you can see that I maintain a copy of that Grammar Practice assignment. This is not the template version, this is just the student one, and every student who completes this assignment, it will be in this folder with the same type of naming structure. It'll always have the template name and then followed by the student name. So each folder is each individual assignment. So that is really handy in keeping yourself organized. And on a final note, the students have the same exact file structure. When they join a class as a student, they will have the same type of folder structure. So again, this makes it really handy and simple to keep you and your student organized. That concludes our first lesson in Google Docs. I would like you to refer back to your classroom to see what your assignment is.